A new and profoundly destabilizing chapter in global military affairs has commenced with the official declaration from the Russian Federation that its Oreshnik Hypersonic Missile System has transitioned from developmental stage to full-scale serial production and has been formally integrated into the Russian army. This announcement, amplified by Russian leadership, signifies a pivotal moment in the nation's extensive military modernization program. The entry of the Oreshnik, which translates into hazel tree, into active service is not merely a technical achievement, but a potent strategic statement aimed squarely at the United States and its global allies. This development has been met with grave concerns across Western capitals, as the missile represents a new class of weapon designed to overcome existing defense systems through incredible speed and maneuverability. The confirmation that the first operational units are now in the hands of the Army signals a shift from theory and testing to a tangible and present military capability. The Kremlin's decision to mass produce and deploy the Oreshnik system is a clear indication of its intent to secure a technological advantage in what has become an era of renewed great power competition. It is a move designed to project Russian strength, challenge the military posture of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and redraw the security map of Europe by introducing a weapon that fundamentally alters the calculations of time and distance in any potential conflict. The deployment effectively nullifies decades of strategic planning and investments in conventional missile defense, creating a new and unpredictable variable in the complex equation of international securities. The weapon's arrival into the armed force is a deliberate act of strategic communication, a signal that Russia is prepared to escalate the technological arms race to protect its perceived national interests and to counter what it views as a persistent encroachment on its sphere of influence. The Oreshnik system itself is a marvel of modern military engineering, born from a concerted effort to develop weapons that fly faster and are more agile than anything that has come before. In simple terms, a hypersonic weapon travels at speeds greater than Mach-5, or 5 times the speed of sound. Russian officials have made claims that the Oreshnik can reach astonishing velocity up to Mach-10, which is approximately 12,350 kilometers per hour. At such speeds, the time from launch to impact is dramatically reduced, leaving very little opportunity for detection, tracking, and interceptions. However, speed is only one part of the equation that makes the Oreshnik so formidable. Unlike a traditional ballistic missile, which follows a predictable arc through space, the Oreshnik is reported to be equipped with a hypersonic glide vehicles. After being launched by a rocket booster to a high altitude, this vehicle detaches and glides toward its target, capable of performing sharp, unpredictable maneuvers within the atmosphere. This ability to change course during flight makes it an exceptionally difficult target for defense systems that are designed to calculate and intercept an object following a set trajectory. The Oreshnik is understood to be a derivative of the RS-26 Rubez, an advanced intercontinental ballistic missile program. By modifying the Rubez, likely by reducing the number of booster stages, Russian engineers have created a weapon that operates at an intermediate range, making it a theater-level weapon of immense strategic importance. A deeply concerning aspect of the Oreshnik is its dual-use capability. It has been designed to carry both powerful conventional, explosive, and nuclear warheads. This flexibility provides the Russian military with a wide range of strike options, but it also creates a dangerous ambiguity. In a tense crisis, it could be impossible for an adversary to know whether an incoming Oreshnik missile carries a conventional or nuclear payload until the moment of detonation, greatly increasing the risk of a catastrophic miscalculation and a rapid escalation from conventional to nuclear war. The world received a terrifying preview of the Oreshnik's capabilities on November 21, 2024. When the missile was used for the first time in a combat situation, the target was a strategic industrial site within the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. This initial combat use served multiple purposes for the Russian military. provide invaluable real-world data on the missile's performance from launch procedure to terminal accuracy. It also functions as a powerful demonstration of force, a showcase of Russia's most advanced weaponry intended to intimidate Ukraine and its Western partners. The chosen target, the PA-PIV Denmark machine building plants, was significant. This facility has been a cornerstone of the Ukrainian and previously Soviet defense and aerospace industry, responsible for producing rocket and missiles. Striking it with the Oreshnik was a symbolic act aimed at crippling Ukraine's domestic defense production capacity. The sheer power and speed of the weapon initially caused confusion, with some Ukrainian officials speculating that they had been struck by an intercontinental ballistic missile, a weapon with a much longer range. This initial misidentification spoke volumes about the Oreshnik's impressive flight characteristic. It was later confirmed that the weapon was indeed the new intermediate range system, launched from the Kapustin Yar test range deep inside Russia. Perhaps the most alarming feature demonstrated in this attack was the Oreshnik reported use of a multiple independently targetable reentry vehicle, or MIRV, payload. A MIRV system allows a single missile to carry several warheads, each of which can be aimed at a different location. Unverified video footage that circulated after the strike appeared to show the missile releasing its payload, which some analysts believe consists of 6 individual warheads. Each of these warheads could potentially contain smaller submunition, allowing one missile to saturate a wide area with explosive. This capability presents an overwhelming challenge for any missile defense system, as it would need to track and destroy multiple fast-moving, maneuvering targets simultaneously. The strategic consequences of the Oreshnik's operational deployment are immense, particularly for the security of Europe. Russia's stated intention to station some of these missile systems in Belarus, a close military ally, has sent shockwave through the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Placing the Oreshnik in Belarus puts it on the very doorstep of several NATO member states, including Poland, Lithuania, and Latvia. The flight time of a missile launch from Belarusian territory to major European cities would be terrifyingly short. Military analysts estimate that an Oreshnik fire from Belarus could strike Warsaw, the capital of Poland, in less than 3 minutes. Such a drastically compressed time frame for response would place unbearable pressure on NATO's political and military leadership. It would nearly eliminate the possibility of deliberation, forcing leaders into a position where they might have to rely on automated warning systems and predetermined response plans. This raises the frightening possibility of a launch on warning doctrine, where a nation launched its own missiles based on the simple detection of an incoming attack before that attack has even landed. This kind of posture is inherently unstable and dramatically increases the risk of an accidental war triggered by a technical malfunction or false alarm. The deployment in Belarus is a calculated move by Russia to gain strategic leverage. It effectively holds major European population centers and military installation at risk, creating a constant underlying threat. This directly challenges the credibility of NATO's collective defense guarantee, under which an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. Russia is testing the resolve of the alliance, betting that the presence of an unstoppable hypersonic missile will create divisions among member states and weaken their commitment to mutual defense. The Oreshnik represent the very class of weapon that the Intermediate Range Nuclear Force Treaty, a landmark Cold War-era arms control agreement, was created to eliminate from Europe. The United States withdrew from that treaty in 2019, citing Russian non-compliance, and the deployment of the Oreshnik is seen by many as the realization of the worst fear that followed the treaty's collapse. The response from the United States under President Donald Trump has been swift and assertive. The Trump administration has unequivocally condemned the deployment of the Oreshnik, viewing it as a direct threat to American interests and the stability of Europe. President Trump characterized the Russian action as dangerously provocative and ordered a clear demonstration of American military resolve. In a direct answer to Moscow's move, he directed the Pentagon to deploy 2 nuclear-armed submarines to undisclosed but appropriate regions, a clear signal that the United States is prepared to counter Russia's escalation with its own strategic force. This move reflects a broader administration policy of peace through strength, aiming to deter aggression by showcasing credible military power. The president's key cabinet members have been tasked with formulating a comprehensive response. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is leading a diplomatic offensive, working to solidify a united front among NATO allies and to communicate American resolve to both allies and adversary. Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth has been charged with an urgent review of the nation's missile defense architecture. He is working with military leaders to accelerate the development and deployment of new technologies capable of tracking and neutralizing hypersonic threats. This includes investing in a more resilient and sophisticated network of space-based sensors and developing new interceptors capable of matching the speed and agility of weapons like the Oreshnik. The challenge is immense, as existing systems such as the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense and the ship-based Aegis system were primarily designed to counter the more predictable trajectory of traditional ballistic missiles. The maneuvering nature of the Oreshnik light vehicle places it in a different category of threat entirely, necessitating a technological leap in defense capabilities. The Oreshnik's entry into service has thus triggered the beginning of a new and highly sophisticated arms race, pushing the United States and its allies to pour billions of dollars into hypersonic research and development to avoid being left at a strategic disadvantage. The global security environment has become significantly more perilous, as the major military powers now appear to be on a trajectory toward developing and deploying a new generation of incredibly fast, difficult-to-defend weapons, making the world a much more dangerous place. Many of my listeners, like 70%, haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. And so many of you don't even know that you haven't subscribed, and that is actually what makes the show go on. It's almost like you're making a donation to the show. So that's why I ask again and again, because it enables us to grow and grow and grow. And we're going for the long haul here. And listen, if this is your first time listening to World Global Conflict, you don't have to subscribe. You guys, your first ones on me. But if you have watched this show before, it's like you are a freeloader now. So all I would ask you is, if you have seen this show before and you like it, help me, help my team here. Hit that subscribe and like button now. And we will continue to build this show for you. That I swear. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's all for me for today. I will see you soon. Bye for now.